Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Elias and welcome back to Terraria Melee Only Challenge. In the last episode, we went to the jungle. We explored around the jungle for a while and we're trying to collect some gear so that we can get some upgrades. So between episodes, I've gone ahead and done a little bit of building. So we have a bunch new houses. As you can see, they're not all full. We have a bunch of new NPCs that's moved in. And I've started digging out a room for myself, which I will probably work on between episodes. This is going to be kind of storage and crafting and all that kind of stuff. A lot of that kind of stuff is just kind of what we're going to need to do as we go on. There is a star. But I also went and did a little bit of grinding for materials. Specifically, stingers is what I needed. So that we can make the blade of grass today. That is kind of the first thing. And on the way, I found some chests. I don't know why I have the gold chest marked. But I found an ivy chest that had a menacing feral claws, which is an amazing accessory. Not going to use the hand warmer anymore. We'll put it on our hands, though. It is so cold outside. And yeah, I've got a little bit of silver ore. I got another lucky horseshoe. This one is spiked, which is not as good. So yeah, basically just need to kind of collect some more stuff, head back to the jungle. But before we do, we can make a couple of things. So the first thing we can make is we gotta find our jungle spores, I do believe. So let's see, restock. There we go. There is our jungle spores. I believe that is what we need in order to get the blade of grass. The other thing I want to do is we have a lead chainmail. It's kind of awful. We're going to upgrade to silver armor. And so I've gone ahead and got some silver as well. This needs to be placed. And I have a bunch of potions, nothing too major. But let's go ahead and make the silver chainmail. And that will give us a set bonus of 3 more defense, which is really nice. And then I want to make the blade of grass. That's going to upgrade from 16 melee damage to 30. That is, oh, it's heavy. That's not the best, but it's okay. So we're going to put the extractinator right there. And I think everything else we can go ahead and deposit wherever we can. So the plan for today, we need to defeat the queen bee. I would also like to potentially search for any floating islands. So you know what? Let's go ahead and kind of do both. I did go ahead and buy a piggy bank from the merchant just to store our money. And I'm going to need to go through my inventory and like sell things and all that kind of fun stuff. But we're going to go ahead and use a gravitational potion, which will let us, well, do this. And we can search for the various floating islands. There should be a couple. This is a medium world. I believe that means there's like 3 floating islands. And or there's a couple. And here is our first one. So what do we have? Star Fury. Perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Because I believe that is one of the required items to make the Zenith, which is ultimately our goal in this series. To make the Zenith and Zenith, and kill the Moon Lord with that. See the credits with the most powerful melee weapon in the game. And some of the items that we're going to be collecting as we do all these challenges will be not necessarily the strongest, but will be one of the strongest, or at least one of the more difficult items, as far as I can tell, to get. For some of the classes, so like ranged class, the most powerful weapon is not really like that hard to get. It just drops from the Moon Lord, but it is still something that's somewhat challenging to get, so that's what I'm going to go with. But yeah, we'll get to that kind of stuff later. Here's another island. I was kind of half paying attention. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. Ooh, fledgling wings. That is really good. Slide down walls. Yeah, we'll just do that. Okay. The blade of grass, by the way, is huge. But we have some wings now, which is nice. So we can kind of fly a little bit. We also only have a few more seconds left on, or like about a minute left on our potion. So there is 2 of the floating islands. I believe the medium-sized worlds, which is again what this is, have 3, plus a sky lake. I do believe. I could be wrong about that. I'm probably wrong about that. It's been a while since I've looked at that information, but here's the sky lake, which is good to know where it's at, because we may need to do some fishing, and of course if I do, I'm not going to do that on camera. I will do all that kind of stuff on my own, because you guys don't want to see me fishing for hours on end to get crates and all that kind of stuff. But it is something we can do. And we are out of our potion. So, we're here in the jungle. The jungle is nice. This is a good sword. Now the question is, how easily will we be able to defeat the Queen Bee? Because that's kind of my goal today, as well as probably defeating the Brain of Cthulhu, or potentially even Skeletron, so that we can get access to the dungeon. So I just want to see what's past here, and then we'll come back to the jungle. I wouldn't mind finding the angler, just in case. And that is somewhat suspicious, but I haven't found any of the, oh, I don't even know what they're called. Where you can find the enchanted sword. Or at least where you used to be able to find... No, you can still find the enchanted sword. It's the Arcalis that they've switched where you can find that. Since I last played. So, for this version of Terraria, aka The Journey's End, it is going to be a windy day, I do believe. Sounds windy. Which doesn't really matter. We're going to go underground. We're going to go fight the Queen Bee. And hopefully, hopefully get through some bosses today. That's kind of the idea. Here is the beach. Here is the angler. And yeah. So ocean, we can explore it a little bit, but not really worth it to go down there right now. Alright, so I have some potions. Star Fury is a really cool sword. Shoots stars. But not quite as strong as the Blade of Grass. It would be nice if the Blade of Grass was faster, but we'll live with it for now. And we're going to have a bunch of potions. What I'd really like to get, by the way, is I'd love to find, I would love to find a mirror of some sort. We've not found a magic mirror, which is so strange to me, because that's usually one of the first items I find, and I usually find like 5 of them. They are, I think, in golden chests, and then in the icy chest there is the icy variant. But they're almost always so common. It's surprising to me that I haven't found one yet. I want that money. Okay. So we have a pretty good selection of weapons. And mostly just the heavy Blade of Grass is what we're going to be using against the Queen Bee. And we have found a few nests. So we just need to get into the jungle. Oh, ooh, Moonglow. At some point I'll probably want to make some planter boxes or something, or buy some from the Dryad whenever she shows up, to get potion ingredients, we'll want to make some potions. The fledgling wings, by the way, are kind of awful. But that's okay. And it might help if I switch the order of things. But, no. Hey, it's the painter. An NPC I do not care about in this playthrough. Okay. Don't the, No, the wings do not prevent fall damage, necessarily, I don't think. At least not this type. Alright. So, there is a beehive not too far down. And this is going to be our first boss. There's actually a couple of beehives. And right there is the larva. So what we're going to want to do is just dig down. We'll have to deal with the bees. There will be some bees. It's okay. Let's light things up. And I just want to get into here. This is a very small hive. But we're going to build a little bit of a platform above the honey. And I've never really fought... It's been a while since I fought the queen bee in normal mode, so I don't remember quite what she does. We'll probably want another platform like here. And we're going to want to make some campfires. And I know, using the right torches and all that kind of stuff, but I don't care enough. At some point, maybe we'll do the little mini-boss that is the torch god, so that we can... Why is that honey doing things? It was like moving. It was weird. Anyways, we have some potions. And yeah, like I said, maybe at some point we'll do the torch god thing. But right now, it's not that important. Aha, so there was something there. Okay. So, I guess now is as good as any time. Let's summon the queen bee. Let's get some potions. And then we just need to start doing some damage. So the queen bee doesn't have that much health. And we don't have much room to fight the queen bee, but it's okay. We have plenty of regen, and this sword is actually pretty good. It would be nicer if it was faster, but it does a lot of damage. And this should be pretty easy, to be honest. The queen bee is not that difficult of a boss, but it is going to take a little bit of time. Come on back down here. And as soon as she starts moving back down... Okay, she's just shooting the stingers. That's fine. About halfway dead. And so are we. So if we can get hits on her while she's flying back and forth, that would be best, but yeah, this shouldn't be too hard. Getting the honey a little bit. Mostly just, you know, avoid the attacks. And do as much damage as we can before she kills us. That's... Ow. But then there is the challenge of, are we going to get the drops we want? Because there is a very good chance that we won't. Alright, let's just dodge this for right now. We do need to kind of live, heal, I should probably make better potions. She's almost dead. What is it? 200 health. Should be 150. So, like, just a few more hits. There we go. And what did we get? Alright, we got the bee gun. That's unfortunate. That is a magic weapon. Hive wand is not bad. Honeycombs. That's not bad. Okay. And then the beeswax and the bottled honey. So there is a way to make the bee, the queen bee, but I don't remember what it is, to be perfectly honest. Let's pick up our campfires. And there is another bee that didn't go too poorly. So we could go kill another queen bee. There's another hive off to the left that I found. Ooh, we got some coffee. Cool. 10-minute duration of health. Alright, apparently we've already been there. Why are there so many man-eaters here? Not that I'm complaining too much, but wow. Man-eater kite. Cool. I've never really messed with the kites, to be perfectly honest. So that's kind of neat to get. The witch doctor has arrived. That's actually really good. We can get the muting stations, which I thought there was. I know that I've seen another hive. And I mean the actual, like, hive blocks. So it's just a matter of figuring out where that was. Oh, it's down a little bit. I think we can kill another queen bee with our setup. We didn't have too much of a problem. We are going to run out of some potions. What is... Plenty satisfied. Okay. We just got to get in here and do the same thing. So actually having the slightly smaller area was a little bit better against the queen bee because dodging isn't that important, all things considered. But definitely what's more important... Wait, you can craft the magical boomerang? I mean, yeah. We'll go ahead and do that. And it doesn't really matter if we ever make magic stuff because, well, we're not going to use magic. So let's just go ahead and do something like this. And make some platforms. This is a much bigger area. And that's okay. And then let's get one more. Let's kill the man-eater. Alright, so another quick little arena. Nothing major. And we should be able to go ahead and take on this queen bee as well. And I'm just using up the platforms to be perfectly honest. Alright, so we'll just get some campfires down. Anything else we want to do? Location of enemies doesn't really matter too much. We have 2 minutes left on our potion. So let's go ahead and summon the queen bee. She's coming from the left. You can see on the minimap. And not much to say about the queen bee. She's a fairly simple boss. You do have to watch out, though. She does pack a bit of a punch at this level, especially with the poison. But when she summons the other bees, that is going to be our best opportunity to do damage, because obviously she's going to kind of set in one place. Alright, let's just dodge. And what are you going to do? Stingers, more stingers. She likes using the stingers in this hive, or at least this one does. And I don't think she actually aims at you. So she's less than half health, which is nice. Come over here and start summoning. No, okay. Yeah, she's got about 1,000 health left, which is not bad. I would like it if, yeah, start summoning enemies, so I get hearts and do a lot of damage. It's actually really nice that the Blade of Grass is such a large sword. It's going to let us kind of do damage a little bit more easily. Oh, I forgot, we're also releasing bees because of our honeycomb thing. And there is the beekeeper. That is what we wanted to find. Okay, we also got a trophy, which is cool. So I don't need those. I don't need that. We have the beekeeper. Is there anything else? No. Okay. So we should be able to just go ahead and pop back home. And now let's make sure that the beekeeper is used. And I believe the Star Fury is also used. Yes, so Star Fury and beekeeper are both used. We'll get those placed down. And we'll need to put our trophy somewhere. So these both go in here. The beekeeper is terrible. 25 melee damage. That's not good. We can go ahead and put the trophy there. Perfect. And almost everything else we can kind of just get rid of. I'm going to put a chest down. And I guess we can keep the hunter potion, but everything else, let's try to quick stack into nearby chests before we do anything else. And yeah, I guess deposit everything. I don't think there's anything that I really care too much about right now. We'll keep potions just because potions are good. I'm actually going to stick the mining potions in here. We'll want to store our money. Okay. So we can buy some stuff if we want to. The demolitionist is not important all that much, but yeah, a building station would be really good. That can give us flasks, which will improve melee skills, melee damage, and all that kind of stuff, which is really good. So, have we seen the... We have not seen the dungeon. The dungeon is on the other side of the world. So let's walk over there. And it's almost night. Let's go ahead and on our way craft up a couple of campfires. And a few wooden platforms. And let's see if we can't take on Skeletron. So we should be able to. But this is going to do a couple things for us. One, it's going to unlock the dungeon. In general, just kind of being able to go into the dungeon, grab all the loot that's in there. There is a ton of loot. Is going to be good. The other thing that we're going to want to kind of prioritize, we're probably going to want to fight the goblins sooner rather than later. At this point, we definitely can take on the goblins. But I don't remember what summons the goblins. I'll be honest. I think we might have to defeat the Brain of Cthulhu, which is something we'll probably do next time. We also could really use, I guess it would be a Crimtane pickaxe. But that is something that we'll kind of save for later. We need to get let's see, the next major sword that we're going to get is the, what is it called? It is the Knight's Edge. I had to think about that for a second. The Knight's Edge is one of the strongest swords you can get in pre-hard mode. That is a combination of the Blade of Grass, Masamune, whatever the dungeon sword is called, because I cannot remember that off the top of my head. Because they're very similar names, Masamune and Murasame. I think it's the Murasame. They are Japanese swords that are used in like every game. They actually do have like legends and whatnot associated with them. But regardless, anyways, we are going to need to get the dungeon sword as well as, what is the other ingredient? It's the molten sword, which requires us to go to the underworld and get some hellstone. Should not be too difficult. And there's one other sword, and I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. But it's not that, like, important. So we'll figure that out. I don't remember which one it is. But we'll get all the swords. We will get the amazing Knight's Edge. And that is probably how we're going to finish off pre-hard mode. So then from there, we can start getting even more powerful swords and all that kind of stuff. And it'll be a little bit more challenging because of the whole, you know, hard mode is hard. Things I don't really care about. Don't really need plant fiber cordage or any guides thereof. What is the last one? It's the... Because I know there's 4 different swords that make it, and I don't think it's the platinum sword. Oh, it's the blood butcher. So it is the corruption sword. So before we talk to Mr. Cursed Boy, let's go ahead and make a little bit of a platform here. And then we'll go up a little, make another platform. And I'm probably going to have to go chop some trees down. I need to make a better axe, but I also kind of just wanted to wait for, honestly, hard mode and getting the pawn hammer. No, that doesn't have an axe. It's a hammer. There's axes we can get. Alright, so let's just make a very simple... I don't want to take too long because we are going to run out of nighttime. And Skeletron is a nighttime boss. We have to fight him at night. Let's get 1, 2, 3, 4 more recipes worth. That should be enough. 2 more. Alright, that's good enough. We'll put a campfire. 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 Let's get rid of these zombies. Do we have any potions we can use? Alright. Curse. So, say hello to Skeletron. Skeletron is not that difficult of a boss, to be perfectly honest. And we should be able to take him on pretty easily. We should probably destroy his hands. We just gotta avoid, you know, his skull and make sure we heal. But yeah, so if we can defeat Skeletron, then we can move on to... Oh, there's a water candle nearby. That's why we have so many zombies. But yeah, if we can defeat Skeletron, then we can move on and explore the dungeon. Probably next episode what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of time to fight the Brain of Cthulhu, so that we can then get some upgrades from the Crimson, get the Blood Butcher. Alright, come back down, Skeletron. I can't hit you up there. Let's make sure that this is... Yes, this is melee damage. We can just use a boomerang. When he gets too high up. And at least do some damage. Skeletron does have quite a bit of health and quite a bit of defenses, except when he's spinning. When he's spinning, he does a lot less... He does a lot more damage, but he has a lot less defense. And so we just need to... Honestly, getting hit by him is not a bad idea, because it summons the bees. But it is almost day, so we do need to kind of hurry things up. Otherwise, he's going to be enraged and do awful, awful things to us. He's about 500 health left. And come on. There we go. We defeated Skeletron. Yay. Skeletron doesn't typically drop anything, but now we can get into the dungeon. And that is going to be where we leave off for today. So next time, the plan is going to be pretty simple. We're going to go through the dungeon. One, I'm going to grab this guy right away. Water candles are super useful. They up the spawn rates of enemies. So, yeah, it's super useful. So what we're going to do is we're going to explore the dungeon next episode, as well as, like I said, we're going to try to fight the brain of Cthulhu, try to get some Crimtane, get some, the Blood Butcher, get the pickaxe, and then we'll go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!